a girl, a boy, and another boy. And one of your sons and daughters, they absolutely treat each other wonderful. They just love each other. They so nice, they kind, they take naps, they share their food, they share their sippy cups and their juice. And then when your other son come around, they mean to that son. They throw stuff at the son. They pull the boy's hair. He trying to stand up and walk, they push him out the way. He trying to come pick me up, mama, come pick me up. Here come the little girl to knock him down. Here come the other son to knock him down. They're like, damn. He crying and said, why you crying all the time? You a crybaby. You know, mama loved me better than you. Ah, mama don't love me, and then stop crying. They just abuse this child. How would you feel knowing that you got 3 kids and 2 of your kids hate your other child? You'd be mad as hell. You'd be like, don't hit your brother. Don't hit your sister. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you not? You don't talk to your brother like that. You don't treat your sister like that. Well, the Lord is angry about how we treat each other, how we talk to each other, how we talk about each other. There's rules in the Bible about how to do so much that is supposed to be our culture that we have never learned. And we're going to get into it. I'm going to get some of these questions in just a minute. Have your questions ready. We're going to run a commercial real quick. Finish that last verse there.
This is verse 2. You only have I known of all
God
the families.
Hold on. The reason why I'm stopping Officer Yagadar, for all you troopers, all you young men and officers, so you can learn how to read the Bible when you read at camp or you read for class, and how to break down the scriptures when, Lord willing, if you become an officer and you start to speak, you need to know there are certain points in the Bible of certain scriptures that are important to highlight and illustrate, because they are driving a point, which is the purpose for the scriptures. One of these points in the scriptures, even though it's not a comma or an exclamation point, which is what you automatically should stop to emphasize what's before and after, if, and, but, or, comma, these words, you only, is a very important thing, because to all of our people in our brains as Blacks, Latinos, and Native American, because we will love and accept everybody, even though it's still F them niggas from the other side, even though it's still, I don't F with them, who all over there. If she there, I ain't going. You know, I don't mess with them niggas. I'm not going. No, it's just, you know, it's just we gonna do for the, nah, damn them niggas on the west side. I don't care. I'm not going. You understand? Even though that, we would still openly accept the Arabs, Africans, Asians, Arabs, white man, East Indian, even after they burned the church down. The stupid pastor say, you know what? I want to invite Dylan Roof back to church on Sunday. I know he just shot up my church, killed my best friend. We've been pastors for 20 years. I know he killed Mother Green and Mother Smallwood that's been baking sweet potato pie and mashed potatoes for me for 25 years. I know he just killed all my friends and murdered them. But you know what? I think that white boy can still get the love of God. I want to invite him to come to church so I can hug him and give him another chance to murder some of y'all here. Can I get an amen? All the dumb Christians said amen. God does not accept everyone, and he does not want us to accept everyone. That we have to unlearn, because when we accept people, we accept their cultures, and God wants to isolate us from the cultures of the other nations of people and their gods. Because our leadership is so poor, we've been following these same civil rights Negroes since the Martin Luther King days, and all the people that they have influenced, we've been following them for generations, and they were never who God put in charge. The Lord set up the I.S.U.P.K in the 60s. That's who the Lord put in charge. Commander General Yahanna is who the God of the Bible put in charge to be over all Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And the majority of our people have refused to follow Commander General Yahanna. And because of that, everybody in every Black city is complaining about how violent the city is, because you have not gone to the place where the Lord set up to get answers from the man that he put in charge. You understand? All right. So what you got? Any more on that?
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Of all the what?
Families of the earth.
Now, God said, you are my family. There are other families that are all over the world. They are not my family. The Asians are not God's family in the Bible. The white man is not God's family. The Africans and Arabs are not God's family. The East Indians and Eskimos and Polynesians, they are not God's family. That's why he has to tell you, you are my children, not them. I don't give a damn what Johnny and Timmy do. I told you, if you don't do this, I'm gonna beat you. Jimmy may or may not get a beating. I don't know. I don't give a damn. That's not my kid. I told you. And because I told you and you are my family, if you don't do what I say, there are consequences. This is what God has been telling us for thousands of years. We got leaders telling us everything we do is fine. Then God sends evil spirits and the cities are full of violence. This is how you stop the violence. All right? Any more on that?
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
The Lord said, because of this, for this reason, everything that you do wrong that violates these rules that I taught you, you will get a punishment. I'm going to make sure you get a punishment because you know better. You're supposed to know better. What happens if you don't know what the speed limit is and you go through the 50-mile-an-hour zone doing 75? What happens?
Salakia, sir.
No, I can't let you get another one, Yahanna. You got the answer key. What happens? Come on, y'all, type in there. Classroom full of people. Get in here, type. This ain't church. Salakia, run the commercial real quick.
New Vision Creation, official I.S.U.P.K apparel.
Let's get right to it, dog. You know it's raw. But let me catch you if you're showing off. They wanted to get you, I hold it off.
New Vision Creation, official I.S.U.P.K apparel.
I can admit it, I know what it's time, and I'm tripping, I got every group. Niggas a fumble a bag, I get to the cash fast, gotta salute. I've been a hustler, look how I'm coming up. You running your mouth, better run it up. I'm running this shit like a big dog. Living my movie, they pissed off. Pushing the law, cause we in charge.
New Vision Creation, official I.S.U.P.K apparel.
Making my move, that shit gotta wait. Ahead of my time, keep it in line. Hold on their face, I just learned to keep it all to myself. Wait, a couple of niggas that hang with me got a bang for me. If I'm doing bad, never change on me. We the salt of earth. We the mother.
Chop and cut.
Is the Bible. Black supremacy is the Bible. And I can show it to you if you want. Go tell your mother and your father that they descend from rapists and slave traders. God damn you devils, man. You raped us and murdered us and lynched us. Put us in prison houses. Set us on fire. You better teach your young boys and girls the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. You expect, you tell your
Chop and cut.
All right. Right. Damn right. Clap it up, clap it up. That's right. All right. Let's keep going. Let's get it. All right. Let's get to some of these questions here.
Okay. All right, so our first question out of one, Akwa Fra'aya says, Salakia, certain Numbers, chapter 5, verse 14 through 19. Is this saying, if a wife is suspected of infidelity, she must be judged? She said her question really went to 31, but she tried to shorten it up, find a good stopping point.
Okay, so there's a few things. Now, at this time, what would be done is there would be a test. The priest would do a test in the temple. If a husband suspected his wife of infidelity, there would be a test. A test would be done. The priest in the temple would sweep up something. And there's all kind of herbs and things and stuff that's going on in the temple. The Lord would have the priest sweep up something and pour it into a drink. and then it would pour it into the drink. And then if the husband suspected his wife of infidelity, the husband, of course, would bring his wife to counsel. This is not.
Hey, shalom, shalom. What's going on, Lakia? Wagwathin, shalom, shalom. Excuse me. Yahweh Bashim Yahshua to all the brothers. Yahweh Shema Alathun Bashim Yahshua to all the sisters. I'm precinct officer 5000 Malak. There we go. I'm precinct officer 5000 Malak. And this is the Wednesday night law class. Clap it up. All right. We got a trooper Kanayak here from Iowa. We got Officer Kakum Gabar who will join us a little bit later. But Trooper Kanayak coming on the screen right now. Most High in Christ. Let me pull the brother up. Give me 1 second. There we go. Shalom, mighty man. What's going on, Troop?
Shalom, y'all. Bashem, y'all. Shabrakatah.
How you feeling, Kanayak?
Tawab. I'm Tawab.
Most High in Christ, Zach. Most High in Christ. Good to see you, brother. It's been a couple of Wednesdays. You understand? Tonight we're having a teaching a good class. Tonight's class is going to be. Can you hear me pretty good, Out?
Khan out of my car.
All right, Most High in Christ. Let me move this forward a little bit. This mic. All right. Tonight's class is going to be about who will have mercy on the poor. You see so much going on in these last days. The one people that will always be forgotten about, no matter what time period it is the poor. But there has to be somebody that worries about the poor. First and foremost, before we get started, let's, for all the brothers and sisters, let me bring in, here we go. Let me see here. Yeah, that's how it's going to have to be. Shalom. What's going on?
Hey,
Shalom.
Yeah, what's
going on, my man? Yeah, how you feeling now?
I'm too wild.
Most High in Christ. Brothers and sisters, make sure if you're a young brother or young sister who is a student trying to earn your benefits of the I.S.U.P.K, which are everlasting, you understand? Make sure you're signing in to the sign-in form. Everyone understand. All right? But going back to what I said just now, shout out to the sister here in Kansas City, Amaja. Shalom, sister Amaja. All right? Going back to what I just said was there will always, throughout history, there has always been and will always be a forgotten class of people, a forgotten group of people. And tonight's topic will be who will have mercy on the poor. You see so much going on when you look at the news, when you see what's going on with America, United States of America and Iran, when you look at what's going on with Russia and the Ukraine. I got a globe here sitting next to me, actually, speaking of which. All right, you see what's going on with Ukraine and Russia. You see what's going on with Oman, the Gulf of Aden, the Straits of Hormuz, the Bab al-Mandab Strait being closed, the American dollar facing an end. I know y'all saw that in the reports this week, Akim. If you haven't, you better look it up. The brother, the trooper, is shaking his head. Kanayak, you seen that?
Khan out of my car.
Speak on it a little bit. Expound. What did you see about how the American economy will fall?
Slocky, I don't know too much, but what I do know is that a lot of people are pulling out money, if I believe I'm saying that right, and that is going to topple the American dollar for sure.
Give the brother a hand. Yes.
Khan.
What else? Go ahead, please. Salakia.
Honestly, that's up to my knowledge right there.
No sweat, brother. No sweat. No, that's well said, because what he said is the truth. I believe it was France, and there are other Europe. This idiot Donald Trump that is in office. By the way, we're going to play a video. If you could, the trooper, Kanayak, if you could or could come, because I don't know if the trooper knows how to share it to this screen, but if somebody could you pull up the USS Abraham Lincoln and then show me the remarks of what the president of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, said about them, the sailors who are suffering right now on an 11th-month combat deployment. Okay? Yes, what the brother said about the American economy is true. I have a report here, if I could, that actually goes in depth to what the brother was just bringing out of how all these European countries, because Donald Trump is such an idiot, because he's such a liar, and because he's so selfish, like so many white people, it is a trait of our oppressor to only care about yourself. We've broke this down so many times, Kakam Gabar, in this class on Wednesday, going back to Cain, how that is a specific trait of Esau that he got from Cain. Remember, Cain is reincarnated to Esau. And because our oppressor are the Edomites, they are the Edomites. They come from Esau in the Bible, Jacob's brother who the Lord split up. Those Edomites get that selfish spirit from Cain. Am I my brother's keeper? What am I supposed to care about somebody other than myself? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Well, because that is a trait of our oppressor. This idiot Donald Trump, although France is the oldest ally of America, although Spain and the European Union are protected classes by America and allies of America, this dummy Trump doesn't care about that. He openly offends the European Union countries, Spain, the Netherlands, France, Germany. They say Germany is about to elect a white woman out that is more racist, that was more racist than Adolf Hitler. You can look this up, all because of what Trump has inspired with his selfishness, his greed, his violence, and him not caring about the people who risk their lives for him. That has inspired the European Union nations to disperse from America, meaning they are now dissecting the European Union. So now there won't be a European Union. Before you look at it, there won't be a European Union. Those countries won't be in a union anymore because they are learning from America. You have to look out for yourself. That's why Spain declared. That's why Spain denied Donald Trump in America the access to their base. They denied them right when the start of this war between America and Iran was happening. There was an article I read that said America, and it was by the New York Times, by Al Jazeera, by the Times. America asked permission for Spain, the Spanish prime minister, to utilize the bases that they have over there because they are in close proximity over there in the Mediterranean to Iran. And so they wanted their air force to be able to launch sorties from Spain to drop bombs and missiles on Iran. The Spanish prime minister declined. He said, hell no. That prompted Donald Trump to then go and offend Spain, offend the European Union, and the result of that was the European Union is now disbanding. Now there won't be a European Union. Now you won't have countries that are together in the same region that are helping each other. Now every man will be for himself. That is a direct prophecy in the Bible. What I just described is a direct prophecy in the Bible. Kakam, you had something you wanted to say?
Yeah, just to add on top of that, it's probably the same thing, but yeah, Trump, he was so like a child, you know what I'm saying? And because of that, you know, he said that he's gonna opt out of NATO.
Yes, you heard NATO too.
Yeah, you know, so because certain countries wouldn't help, and he's like, yeah, well, we protected y'all for years and this and this and that, and y'all don't want to help with the Iranian war. Well, guess what? We're just gonna opt out of NATO and see how you uphold now, you know. So he's been threatening to bomb certain allies over there. What was it? Oman. That's one of the and you know he's stepping on everybody's toes, and like it says in Revelations, it says, and they shall hate the whore and burn her with fire.
Damn right.
I yield.
Damn right. Give him a hand. Yeah. Give him a hand. I got a video instead of an article. I think now in these last days, Akim, you can read an article when you make your own personal vehicles. When you make your own personal videos for your pages, your YouTube and social media pages. But for the sake of class, I believe it's more apropos to watch and look at and show the people videos, because they are very, in these last days, people are very consumed with their eyes, what they see. And life hasn't always been that way. YouTube brothers are old enough, just like me. I understand there was a time where it wasn't so much what you watched on TV, it was what you read. And reading was so big a long time ago. These kids won't understand that. Before the internet, kids, you actually had to read articles. You had to read the news. You can listen to it on the radio or watch it, but you would prefer
because news stations historically have always had the ugliest white people ever on them. So because of that, it wasn't common for Negroes and Latinos to watch it, but we would absolutely read it. That's why newspapers are dwindling, because no one reads anymore. This generation watches everything. And because we're fishing in this school, we're fishing all age groups. We're going to watch a video about the economy. I wanted to pull from I believe his name is Daniel Lewis. Let me see. I think that's his name. Let me see. Oh, it can't be his name. That can't be it. But I do have a video nevertheless. I want to find this oppressor, right? But everything that Cucumber said, give him a hand too. Everything he said was the truth. This dummy Donald Trump, he wants to bomb Oman. Now, that is a ally, at least it was, of America before Trump was in office. And that's another thing that this is the signs of the times could come. Kanayak, shalom to the young man here in Kansas City, young man Isaiah, right? That's another signs of the times, is everything that has happened before Trump. Remember, there was a time where the European Union was solid and they were with America. There was a time when NATO was solid, they were together, and America protected these countries. Not anymore, brother. I just read another article that talked about how America is pulling their bases out of, I want to say 7 different countries. 7 different bases. All of the bases in the Middle East are shutting down. All of the United States Navy, Air Force, Army, Marine Corps bases are shutting down in the Middle East, right? Moreover, America is pulling out of 7 different countries. Remember, America has over 800 different military bases globally. That was before Trump. Before Trump, what was it? It was a natural disaster that just took place. They said this has never happened before. You're going to hear that a lot. This has never happened before. Brother, there was a hailstorm in Colorado in the middle of August. This week, right now in Gary, Indiana, give Captain I.S.U.P.K a hand. He's over Gary, Indiana. Recently, brother, they have been without power for the last 8 days, an entire week that the news is not covering. But Black people who have phones are covering their own situation, their own poverty, right? Going into tonight's topic. What you see before Trump, things that have never happened before, you're going to see those things after Trump while he's in office. Why? Because these are the signs of the end times. And everyone should be prepared. Everybody. I don't just mean physical preparedness, which is what you see white people push. White people push physical preparedness. When there's a flood, this is something I always want to ask white preppers. And there's nothing wrong with physically preparing. You should be physically prepared. But I'm going to teach you a lesson in how to be spiritually prepared too. Whenever I hear white preppers stocking up these cabinets and shelves, right? That's fine, that's good, that's dandy. What happens when a natural disaster hits your home and now all that you worked for years to prep is gone in an instant? You see how that works? You see, in Colorado, they've had flooding and hailstorms in a matter of 24 hours. They had to have bulldozers come and scrape the hell off the streets. Imagine you have stocked and prepared for 10 plus years, 1 year, for 6 months now, and you're ready for SHTF. You're ready for it. And then the Lord sends a tornado here in the Midwest and wipes all of your homes out of the ground. What then will you say? What then can you do? You see, there's something more important than physical preparedness. It's good to exercise. It's good to have them sewing machines on hand, if you know what I'm talking about. If you want West, you know what I'm talking about. It's good to be physically prepared, to stock up food, to stock up groceries, to stock up non-perishables. It's good to have generators, backup generators. But what happens when the Lord sends an angel to send a flood that wipes those houses off of the map? What happens when the Lord sends a tornado or a winter blizzard, and now everything in your home is gone, it's ruined, it's destroyed, you have no home? Then what? Spiritual preparedness is more important than physical preparedness. And the only way that you're going to get the Lord on your side is for you to obey the Most High God. It's for you to care about someone other than yourself. We're going to get into that in a second. Let me pull this video up about the American economy. Excuse me. If I can find this Read a scripture. Salaki could come give that scripture to the trooper. I said a whole bunch of scriptures. I don't have your number. I got to get your number, Kanaya, so I can send you these precepts. But get them from Kakum. I want this, brother. I want you to read. Where can we start? Let's go to Matthew chapter 25 and verse 31. Let's start there first.
Right?
Yes, the sister Imaja here in Kansas City. Yes, she said, or like in North Carolina, they got flooded. This happened in 2024. It was called Hurricane Helene. Now, if you're not from the East Coast, you're not familiar, but North Carolina doesn't get hurricanes. Not inland. West North Carolina received Hurricane Helene. This was in 2024. This was only 2 years ago. I think 2 years ago, last month, is when it happened, right? They received Hurricane Helene. Brother, it was one of the worst natural disasters that hit that region, I think they said in 80 years. I've just recently looked at things about Hurricane Helene to get more prepared and listen to what they didn't have, what oppressors and those areas that Hurricane Helene hit didn't have. And I'm listening to it. Brother, they said it wiped everything out. That hurricane in North Carolina, yes, and they were all preppers. Yes, she's telling the truth. Give her a hand. What the sister is bringing out is the absolute truth. They were all preppers. This was not a city. This was rural communities. They were wiped out. These oppressors said, we stocked up. I listened to one devil out. He said in his garage, he said it's been 2 years, and they are just now beginning to restore some of the municipalities here in this city. That was 2 years ago, Ark. He said, right. Some of us are just now getting our power back on. Some of us are just now able to drink the water because the water for the last 2 years was non-potable coming out of their faucets. I said, 2 years? It's been 2 years. I said, oh boy, Shalom, sis, Sister Shapala. Yahweh Shemal Tabashim Yahweh Shah. Right? 2 years and they still don't have clean drinking water. I said, brother, what Commander Yahanna said in that lecture was the truth. We better be prepared for the fact that Egypt won't provide the things Egypt has always provided for us. But more important than physical preparedness, if those white people would have done what Commander Yahanna and the Bible have been telling them to do for years, that would not have happened. If they would have made Black and Latinos their overlords, that would have never happened. But because you have a wicked man in charge who doesn't have regard for the poor or for the rich or for the sick or for the elderly, Hurricane Helene happened and wipes out an entire rural white area. And it didn't just happen in North Carolina, although they were hit the hardest. It happened in Tennessee, and it happened in parts of, I think, Kentucky or parts of Georgia. I know Tennessee, North Carolina, and I think parts of Georgia. It was bad. It was bad. All right. Somebody wanted to say something?
No, I was just going to say, yeah, because it came up through Tampa, through the Gulf Coast, right there through Tampa.
Yes, Florida, yes.
And then it stretched up. Yep.
Yes.
I remember that.
And listen, and just like Katrina, those white people didn't know until the last minute to evacuate because they didn't think it was going to hit inland in North Carolina. They thought it was just going to be a bunch of rain. It was just going to be some rain, some thunderstorms. They didn't know they were going to get a hurricane inland of North Carolina. So those devils who are very ignorant and who are very proud, is something you better remember about white people. You can't tell them something. The water, Kanaya. I see your message. Salakia. I see your message. You can't tell white people anything. So their dumbasses stayed at home and lost everything. And just now, 2 years later, they're just now able to drink their water. Brother, you better have some spiritual preparedness. You better be prepared spiritually. Maybe we'll make that a class one Wednesday out. We got how to physically prepare. There's so many preparedness lists and groups. Get in them and join them. That's good. Get all skills you can have. But brother, something that you are not being taught is how to spiritually prepare, because white people, Asians, Africans, they don't know how to spiritually prepare. Only we do in the Israelite School of UPK. That is who you better listen to in these last days. Everyone understand? Go ahead and read what you got, Kanaya.
Khan. This is Matthew chapter 25, verse 21. His Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. enter thou into the joy of thy Lord.
Right. This is a parable that Christ, this is written in red, which means Christ said this, right? This was a parable that our King Yahushua spoke and taught the disciples and the children of Israel that he was teaching at this time. And they asked him a question. Now, the first part of the scripture was the parable. Then he goes into why you should take care of people who are less fortunate, which is the entire point of this scripture. He said, well done, thy good and faithful servant. Read up just a little bit, maybe 3 verses, right? Read up 3 verses.
Matthew chapter 25, verse 18. But he that had received one went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money.
Okay, go down a verse.
Verse 19. After a long time, the Lord of those servants comes.
Salakia, start from where you started from. Excuse me, and then go down. So go a verse below.
Verse 19. Right? You want to
yes.
Verse 19? After a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoneth with them.
What scripture did I give you out?
Matthew chapter 25, verse 21.
No. I said Matthew chapter 25, verse 31.
Salakia.
You're all right. Matthew chapter 25 and verse 31. That's what I want you to start with, all right?
Matthew chapter 25, verse 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory.
Keep going.
Verse 32. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another.
Keep going.
As a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. Verse 33. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left.
This is, of course, a prophecy about what's going to happen with Christ's return, right? When Christ returns, there's going to be a separation of the Israelites and everybody else. Keep reading.
Verse 34. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundations of the world.
This is what I want. Now, yes. All right, now keep going.
Verse 35. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in.
This is, once again, another prophecy, and this is also a parable about when Christ returns. The Son of Man is Christ. In this context, is Christ, right? When Christ returns, he's going to reward you based off of your dealings, based off your deeds. That's a better word. When Christ returns, he's going to reward all of us based off of your deeds. What did you do? When I say deeds, that means your lifestyle, okay? When Christians break this down, right? Christians break this down to mean when Christ returns, you could be a sinner smoking, getting high every day, but as long as you gave your tithe and offering, and as long as you volunteered at a soup kitchen, Christ is going to reward you. That's not true. Does everyone understand? You can't be a sinner, and yeah, Christ is going to reward you, all right? He's going to reward you a sinner's reward. So yeah, sure, get high until Christ comes back. Have sex with those whores until Christ comes back. And Christ is going to reward you based on that. But then there's a type of brother or sister who lives a lifestyle that they are going to receive a reward that is incommensurate of that lifestyle. They're going to be there's a brother and sister out that's going to say, I had sex with who I could. I smoked whatever I could to get away, to ease my mind of all the stress and pain that from all the child molestation that occurred to me. I did what I could, Lord. That's a brother or sister right there, right? They're in the church. They're in the purple group, right? Those type of brothers and sisters. Then there's a brother and sisters. There's a brother and sister that tells Christ, Lord, I didn't have sex with who I could. I obeyed your commandments. I refrained from giving up my body to any Tom, Dick, and Harry. I didn't open my legs to any man. The man I had sex with is the man that I stayed with for the rest of my life. I wasn't influenced by social media. I wasn't influenced by the Christian church. I didn't lie on my brothers or my sisters. I didn't backbite them. I didn't gossip. I didn't eat that pork and that shrimp. I didn't celebrate Christmas in spite of being mocked for not celebrating Christmas. Although they called me a cult member, I did not abrogate my oath to the Most High God. That's a brother or sister too. Like Mattathias in the Bible in the Apocrypha, in 1st and 2nd Maccabees. That's the type of brother or sister too. That although they're being mocked for being in the truth, the way Christ and his disciples were, although they are being stoned and persecuted for doing the right thing, for simply saying, I don't celebrate Christmas because it's not my beliefs, right? I don't believe that a man should be with a man because it is unlawful. You're going to be mocked for that like we are, right? People who are LGBTQ are not mocked. You are mocked for believing the opposite of the LGBTQ. Let that blow your mind for a second. When Christ returns, there's going to be a brother that says, I was LGBTQ because I was raped by my uncle. Then there's another brother that says, although I was raped by my uncle, I wasn't LGBTQ because I found the men of God in the I.S.U.P.K. and I was sincerely following Christ like a blind man. That brother is going to get a reward, and then that LGBTQ person is going to get a reward. Does everyone understand? Christians break this down to mean your good deeds are giving tithes and giving money to the homeless. That's not going to get you that's not going to get you a ruling position in the kingdom of heaven. If you're Black and Latino, you're not going to make the kingdom of heaven if all you're doing is smoking, getting high, you're a sinner, but you do some good things for people sometimes. That's not enough. Christians have told you that because that's what Christians do. They have sex with your wife and your children, and then they go and open a soup kitchen. And hey, I can still F these kids and your wife. I'm good. Praise be to Jesus. That's not going to work out. You have to live. You have to live this thing. Your actions are what you do on a daily basis. Keep reading, Ak.
Khan. Matthew chapter 25, verse 36. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me.
There's a people out that have had mercy on the poor, mercy on the brothers that are incarcerated. There's a people who have not. Christ is speaking to the people who did have mercy on the poor, who looked out for the poor when no one else would. You live in America. You are living in America. Every day, an average American has to drive past, walk over, or look at some homeless bum that is laying in the middle of the street in the richest country in the history of the world. And there are people who don't give a damn about them. The rich certainly don't care. The Christians don't care. You know how I know Christians don't care about the poor? Because the church is empty Monday through Saturday. The homeless sleep outside of the church. Does everyone understand that? Let that blow your mind. There is an empty church building Monday through Saturday. Empty. Pews that fit 300 people. They did a report and a research. They did a research study, and they reported that if every single Christian church were to open their doors to the homeless to live, there would be no homeless people in America. This you can look up. This I'm not making up. They did a report recently that said if all the Christian churches, and church means the Catholics too, Catholics and Christians are the same. If they all open their doors to the homeless, if they allow homeless to stay in there, the homeless to stay in there, there will be no more homeless people on the streets of America, from California to New York. The church doesn't care about the poor, and they're supposed to be the men and women of God.
Yep.
They don't give a damn about the poor. The church is why you are poor. They stole all your money. The Black Christian church is why Black people are poor. While you're trying to push Black-owned business, support Black business. I know a Black business that we supported since Dr. King, and we have yet to reap our rewards. We supported the Black Christian church since the 50s, and you're still poor. $800 billion is how much money that economists say the Black church has gotten in tithes and offering since the 70s. Since the 70s. $1 trillion. That's your economy right there, Black people. That's where your money is. That's where your money is. So when you're wondering why your son doesn't have a job, why all these Black men can't get a job, you better go holler at T.D. Jakes, because he's the reason your son can't get a job. When you're wondering why your neighborhood looks the way it does, you better go ask the church that's on the corner of your ghetto and of your project, because that's the reason your neighborhood looks the way it does. That's why you live in squalor. That's why you're poor. That's why you live hand to mouth. That's why you can't get a job. That's why your sons are in jail, because instead of the church concerning themselves with taking care of the poor the way Christ would have, they are making themselves rich, and they're going to have a reward for that. They're going to get their reward. Keep reading. Let's see what their reward is. Keep going.
Verse 37. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Verse 39. Or when saw we thee sick or in prison and came unto thee? Verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
See, this is a type of person. These are the righteous. The righteous will answer. They've taken care of the poor. They've helped the sick. They visited the brothers in prison. You know, we have a prison program full of officers and troopers. Give them a hand. Brother, I just recently learned, now I'm not going to put the numbers out there. I recently learned that we have over 20 members in the North Carolina prison department, and just the state of North Carolina alone. Give Officer Yahanna a hand. He's over the North Carolina prison department. And give Captain Zakar a hand. He's over the nation's prison department. Right? Brother, you can't tell me we don't care about the brothers in prison. Well, that's all of us are felons in the UPK. I don't know if you know, if you sisters or you brothers knew that in the world. Everybody in the UPK are felons. We definitely care about the brothers in prison. Guess who else we care about? The poor, because that's who we are too. We aren't your TD Jakes. We aren't your Christian preachers. We don't have Rolls Royces in here. We're poor just like you, and that's who we care about, the poor. Just like Christ was poor and only cared about the poor. Guess what? You have your reward. Christ said, when the righteous say, my Lord, when were you poor? When were you sick? Read that last part again. The least of these. Read that part. That's always been, since a baby, that's been my favorite scripture in the Bible since I was in the world. Read that again.
Inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
See, you thought that when you walked over that poor brother, when you overlooked that poor sister, you thought you were just denying a Black or Latino that is less fortunate, but really you're denying Christ. When you don't have mercy on the poor and you don't help the poor, poor doesn't always mean they're homeless. And I don't want you, that's what people can think. They can think, poor, nigga, you're poor. That's what you don't understand. This is something that Black rappers and Black entertainers have vexed our community of for so long, since the 90s. Black rappers make you think that you're not poor. Entertainers make you think you're not poor. Those same Black rappers and comedians and athletes are poor. You want to look what Michael Beasley, you want to look up Michael Beasley? You want to look up the average? Do this for me, Kanayak. Look up what is the average How many? Look up how many ex-NFL NBA players go broke after they retired.
Con, I don't con.
I'm gonna let you give me the answer, but I can just give you the answer. I'm gonna let the brother look it up. All right, let him work some and get some work in. The brother is a brand new trooper. Give him a hand for earning his Hebrew name and becoming a trooper in the UPK in Iowa. Kanayak. What's your name mean again, warrior?
It means Salakia. It means dedicated.
To give the brother a hand. Dedicated. This brother is dedicated. Everyone understand? Yeah, that's a good one, sis. Christians say, I'll pray for you. Yeah, and that was the prayer when they say, I'll pray for you. That was the prayer there. Them niggas telling you, I'll pray for you is the prayer. You see, you think that you're not poor, which is a vexation on the black community for blacks and Latinos. I don't know who it was that came up with that high figure man, or what is it called, Doc? A high value man or some garbage like that.
High value.
So high value man. Can I help you, brother? Something that makes 6 figures and 7 figures, you're poor too. When you have a white man that's worth $1 trillion, you're poor when you make $100,000. What is $100,000 a year? You know how much houses are? What are you even talking about? A 6-figure man. What is that? He's poor, sweetheart. If you're marrying a 6-figure man, guess what? He's poor and so are you. You're poor. You think $100,000 is equal to how much Solomon Northup made as a slave when he would perform for white people on his fiddle. You are in the same condition as Solomon Northup. You're in the same condition as Harriet Tubman before she was an abolitionist, while she was a slave in Maryland. You think you're better than them? Do you think you earn more? You think you're in a upper class? Can I hip you brothers and sisters to something else? The class system is a Leninist Marxist concept that is a farce. It is not real. Does everyone understand? You are either rich or you're poor. Middle class doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. You aren't middle class. That is something that rich white people tell poor white people who make a little more than trailer park trash rubes that wants to give them an esteem. All right, that's all. It's to give white people that are middle class an esteem. You're not middle class, black people. Do you know what separates the average black middle class family from the average white middle class family? They say that black middle class families have, if you were to get fired, if a black middle class family was to get fired today, they could survive 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Okay? If everything they own, and that's if they sold everything they own, including what was in their savings account, 4 weeks is how much, that's how long a black middle class, an average black middle class family could survive if they were to get fired or laid off today. Do you know how long a white middle class family could survive if they were to get laid off today? 12 months. 12 months, the average white middle class family, if they were to sell all their belongings, if they were to cash out that 401k, if they were to just get fired today, they could last and survive 12 months before they needed help. 12 months. What do you think as a black person, you're middle class? Are you out of your effing mind? Black people, you're poor. Latinos, you're poor. The Haitians don't even try to deny it. You think because you're a doctor or a lawyer or because you have a degree, that is what makes you rich?
Right.
Your earnings? Come on, man. Are you going to be asleep forever? Ain't Donald Trump showing you niggas that Donald Trump is trying to wake you niggas up? Could come kind of, I don't know if it's working, but my God, you can't really think that you're rich in this economy. Eggs is $10 a quart. You could make a surgeon's salary and still struggle. Am I making this up? They have articles about this. Black professionals that are white collar professionals who are doctors and lawyers and engineers are struggling in Trump's America. That is the title of the article. You can look it up. You think because you went to school to be a doctor or a lawyer, you're going to get out of poverty? Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Kakum. You have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, it's like if I could, I want to just get a little quick precept on that.
Please.
I'll just read it for time's sake.
Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 33 and verse let me see, verse 6. And it says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. So like you said, you know, just because you got this and that degree, or you got this much money, you a basketball player, a football player, a rapper, all that is based upon vanity, you know. But the knowledge and wisdom of the Most High God is the stability at this time. Because you never know, like you said, the Lord could send a hurricane, a plague, whatever, an earthquake, and it could all be gone in a second. You know what I mean? Wars stretch out. We already know war's coming, but you know, this is why in the I.S.U.P.K we teach this knowledge, wisdom. That's why it's universal, practical knowledge, because knowledge and wisdom is the stability at that time.
Damn right. Give him a hand. That is the perfect breakdown. Officer Kakumgabar, camp leader of Iowa. Well said, brother. I couldn't say it any better myself. That is the absolute truth, what he just said. That is what your defense is going to be. Ain't that what I just said a second ago, Kakum, about your spiritual warfare? That has to, your spiritual preparedness, which is wisdom, that has to be your defense. Not money. Money is a defense for sure, but you can't rely on it the way our oppressor and the Black Christian church have forced us to. They forced us to rely on their dollar and their defense. No, we have to rely on our power, the Most High God, and the wisdom we get from this Bible. Otherwise, you're going to end up like all of the Black people in Gary, Indiana, who are relying on the oppressor to give them what they need to survive. That doesn't happen in the Israelite School of UPK. You know why? Because we have something no one else has: brotherhood. Brotherhood is a defense too. Sisterhood is a defense too. You know how we're able to develop that? Through wisdom, through the obedience to the laws of God. Read me what you got, Kanayak.
Khan.
Read me that article.
So the question is, how many ex-NFL players go broke after retiring? Approximately 78% of former.
Whoa. You mean to tell me that if I encourage my sons, my Black and Latino sons who are gifted with physical ability, you mean to tell me that if I were to work them out their whole life, this is what we do. We want to get out of the ghetto so bad. We don't want to be poor. So I got sons and daughters. Clearly, they're going to be professional athletes. You know, I got 4 sons. They play sports. They play baseball.
Right.
Maybe they'll get a baseball contract one day worth $100 million. When they retire, what is their percentage of actually keeping that money?
78%.
Yeah, of not keeping that money. 80%. They won't keep the money. That's what that means. Can I help you out? My sons can become a baseball player. They can become Patrick Mahomes, which is never going to happen because that's like a 0.00. You have a higher chance of getting hit by lightning, right? When you deal with percentages, you have a higher chance of getting hit by lightning than your Black child becoming the next Patrick Mahomes or LeBron or Michael Jordan. It doesn't happen. But we've invested all of our energy into making monkeys for our oppressor. That's what you are when you're a professional athlete. And this is no disrespect to any Black or Latino brother who's a professional athlete, because you're an effing idiot in the world. You're all Blacks and Latinos are idiots in the world. It's the truth. You don't have the truth. So you're dumb. You're dumb to reality. It's not your fault. I'm not blaming you. I was dumb in the world. All of us were stupid and idiotic in the world, thinking that we could become professional athletes. We thought we would be an engineer, a doctor, and that's going to alleviate that would alleviate our poverty. Does it? I've seen doctors and lawyers live in squalor too. When I say squalor, I mean live in the projects. I've seen them live in homes that they could not afford. Why? Why do we do that? Because you think being rich is, it's possible. Can I help Blacks and Latinos out with something? And this is going to be a very controversial take, so maybe y'all could clip this and make this into a clip later. The only way that Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians will ever be rich is if we enslaved white people, because that is the only way white people got rich. White people didn't get rich because they were doctors and lawyers and went to college. White people didn't get rich and wealthy and own countries and land because they went to college and were engineers, because they were basketball players. No, they whipped your back when you refused the white Jesus, and they murdered you when you looked up at them in the eyes. And then they enslaved your posterity for 400 years and received free labor from that slavery. They were able to build insurance companies. They were able to build Wall Street, countries, continents, take over the globe because of your slavery. If you ever want to be equal to white people are going to have to be your slave, and you're going to have to be their master. That's the only logical way. You're not going to educate yourself out of poverty. You're not going to become a professional, a monkey, which is what a professional athlete is. You're a stinking entertainer for white people. You know how low of a job that is to be an entertainer for the man that raped your grandmother? How humiliating is that, Ak? That is humiliating.
Right.
The white man murders Sandra Bland, murders Trayvon Martin. What do? Throw a ball for him? Wrestle a man in tights for him? For his what? Pleasure. That's what we did in Rome, in the Colosseum. Bread and circus, it's the same thing. You want to know how to get out of poverty? You're going to have to be the Romans. You're going to have to be the Spanish conquistadors. You're going to have to be the Anglicans and the planters and the Quakers and the Puritans. That's what you're going to have to become. That's the only way out of poverty, is for you to be a slave master. That's it. Other than that, you're going to be poor until Christ returns. Because that's a simple take. That's just a simple understanding. If you think you're going to educate yourself out of poverty, you're going to play a basketball game or football game out of poverty, then you're just as foolish as the last man. I would have you understand real knowledge and wisdom. And that is, if you want to be equal to white people, if you want what they have, if you truly want wealth, P. Diddy's in prison now. He didn't have real power and wealth. Donald Trump has real power and wealth. He did everything P. Diddy did times 10. He was worse than P. Diddy because he ate babies and raped babies. Brother, if you want to be like the white man, have the power and wealth he has, you're going to have to enslave nations of people the way he has. You're going to have to enslave him. And that is coming to the white man. Slavery is coming by the hands of God, not by my hands, not by Commander Juliana's hands, by the hands of the Most High God. Slavery is coming to white people. It's coming to Africans. It's coming to Arabs. The Africans love being a slave. Hell. Have you seen Africa, brother? Every African is a slave to the European countries. They're slaves to Elon Musk. They love to pick that cotan, and Africans love. They're going to love it as you as their slave master, because we are going to be more just than their slave masters. We'll be more just than they are. These are the nations need slavery. They love it. Those Arabs need slavery. The Moabites, the Chinese, they need it out. The Africans love it. The white man is going to love it too, as you, Kanayak, being their slave master. You're going to have me personally, I'm going to have a Samoan as my overseer. Does everyone understand? And I'm going to, Samoans are huge and big. They're going to whip the skin off of Donald Trump's back on that plantation. When he refuses, the quota, the daily quota for my grandfather, great-grandfathers and grandmothers was 500 pounds of cotton every day. From canked to canked. When you can't see the sunlight, when you can't see the sun down. They were out there 15, 16 hours a day, Monday through Saturday, sometimes Sunday, picking 500 plus pounds of cotton. When we enslave our oppressor under Christ, under God, not by our hands, they're going to have to pick 600 to 700 pounds average. The first 60, 70 years it's going to be tough on white people. I'm going to tell you straight up and down. They don't know how to work. The Arabs, forget about it. There's going to be a lot of whipped flesh in that field. It's going to be a lot of white people. And then guess what white people are going to say? The only way we can get rich, the only way we're going to be equal to our black nigga slave masters is if we become professional athletes. The only way our white people are going to be rich is if we become doctors and lawyers in this black man's society. Right. This is the black man's kingdom. This is the Hispanic man's kingdom. Baby, that's what I can't wait for that day. I can't wait for the shoe to be on the other foot. When white parents tell their white children in a nigger's kingdom, in a Spicks, right, in a Redskins kingdom, baby girl, Kimberly, the only way you're ever going to be rich is if you shake and twerk your ass on social media, is if you become a stripper. I can't wait for that day when white women tell their white daughters, you got to use what you got to get what you want. If it's a man, if some man wants to marry you, you got to make him prove himself. I can't wait for the curses that we suffer to be on our oppressor. For some white father to work his son half to death to be the best football player he can be, to be the best baseball player he can be. And I'm going to encourage it from white slaves all over this earth. I'm going to say, yeah, white, that's good. I want to own the NFL in the kingdom of heaven. You don't think we're going to have an NFL in the kingdom of heaven? You don't think sport is going to have its place in the kingdom? Yes, it will. And white people are going to be our entertainment, the way niggers and Spicks are their entertainment. And white men are going to beat their sons in a football field until he's able to run 4-4 flat, 4-2 flat. And I'm going to have breeding farms where I breed the best white men, the best white women, so they can be my gymnasts, they can be my Simone Biles, they can be my Sha'Carri Richardsons, they can be my Michael Jordans and LeBron James and Patrick Mahomes. That's what's going to come to white people. Justice and equality. Then you know what you'll be hearing white people say? We can get out of this poverty if we get educated. We can get out of poverty if we become doctors and lawyers. We can get out of poverty if we just become football players and athletes to these black men. And you know what we're gonna sit back and do? We're gonna sit back and say, yes, you can. Right. Yes, you can. I can't wait to see a white Martin Luther King in the kingdom of heaven. I can't wait for it. I can't wait for a white man to say, they're whooping us, they're lynching us. You know what we should do? Love them more. We should turn the other cheek, brother. I'm gonna cry in the kingdom of heaven when I witness a white Dr. King. I'm gonna laugh, but brother, I'm gonna cry. I'm going to cry tears when I hear a white man say, these black people are oppressing us. They killed us in Mississippi. They're lynching us. You know what we should do? We should love them. We should love them and have sex with their women. That's what we should do. We should give them all of our love and our kindness while they're beating us and doing whatever they want to us, brother. I'm going to encourage a white Dr. King. And imagine an Arab and an African Dr. King. Imagine some Italian man being a brother. That is worth giving up pork. That dream that I just described to you, that reality that's coming to the white man here very shortly, that's worth giving up pork and shrimp.
Right.
That's worth helping the homeless out. That's worth taking care of your people, loving your people, the poor of your people. It's worth it. To be able to see a white man be a white Dr. King in the kingdom of heaven, brother, that's worth it. Finish off the scripture you're reading, Kanaya. And then we're going to end the class.
Verse 41. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand.
This is for you Christians. This is for you Muslims. This is for you black Muslims and you black Christians and Latino Catholics. This is for all of you who are not in the truth, who don't give a damn about the poor of your people. This is for you. What is Christ going to tell you?
Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepare for the devil and his angels.
Yikes. That's your fate. For all you niggas that don't care about the brothers that are locked up. For all of you who don't care about the brothers and the sisters who are poor. Your people are poor. Don't have housing, don't have anything. What do? Like Officer Tatum, you blame them. You know, black people are our own worst enemy. Shut the hell up. You blame a poor black person who was born into poverty, who was raped and molested since they were 6. They grew up to be a murderer and a gangbanger. What are you blaming them? Are you crazy? You're blaming the victim. What did Christ say is going to happen to you? All of you arrogant blacks and Latinos who hate black people, what is Christ going to say to you on that day of judgment? Read that part again. Shalom to the trooper.
Khan. Depart from me.
What is he going to say?
Depart from me.
No, he's going to love them.
Depart from me.
Come to me.
Depart from me.
Let me embrace you.
Depart from me.
I love you no matter what.
Depart from me.
I know your heart.
Depart from me.
Let's let bygones be bygones.
Depart from me.
Christ ain't all loving like you make him out to be in the church.
Right.
Christ is telling a group of people that are not white people. He's talking to blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, his own people. He's going to tell his own people who stayed in the church and they turned their nose up at the poor and the gang members of this society who are Negroes and Latinos. He's going to tell them, depart from me. Depart from me. Get the hell away from me. Why is he going to tell them that, trooper?
Ye cursed into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels.
Oh, you're going to be with the white man like you want in the kingdom of heaven. You're going to be feeding him in his hog trough. You're going to be the lowest in the kingdom of heaven. Why? Why are they going to be cursed to this damnation of hell with their oppressor? Why?
Verse 42, for I wasn't hungered, and ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink. Verse 43, I was a stranger, and ye took me not in, naked, and ye clothed me not, sick, and in prison, and ye visited me not.
This is why you're going to be the lowest in the kingdom of heaven with your oppressor. This is the reason why, Black Christians, because you have neglected God's chosen people who are poor. You see, you care about the rich of our people. I see that in you, Christians, but you don't care about the poor of your people. The brothers who are gang members and murderers, the sisters who shake their ass in the strip club, who were raped and molested. You turn your nose up at them. You don't care about the poor children who are being abused in foster care. You don't care about the poor of your community. You want to get out of your community. You tell your children, I can't wait for the day we can get out of the ghetto and move away from these other niggas, these other Latinos. You Latinos voted for Donald Trump, and he's deporting your dumb ass too. Why? Because you hate the poor Latinos. You hate the Latinos. You hate Raza with the MS-13 tattoos and the gangs and the brothers that's in the cartel and got the tats on them, and the hard-working brothers that are in La Raza, the plumbers, plomeros, and the electricians. You hate them because you think that one day you could be just like Donald Trump. You think one day you could be rich. You idolize white people. You've done it since slavery. You've done it since the Spanish conquistador. I know why you do it, but here's your reward. Depart from Christ. Get away from him, and you're cursed in damnation to be the lowest in the kingdom of heaven. Now you're going to be with the white man that you've been wanting to be with since you were in captivity under him. Now you're going to get just what you wanted. You see, you didn't care or take care of the poor of your people. You didn't help them. You wanted to be a white Christian. You wanted to just live in harmony and peace in America. There's a reward for you niggas that want to just live in peace, like Officer Tatum. There's a reward for him. Depart from me, ye workers of iniquity. Get the hell away from me. Go feed white people in a hog trough. And while you're at it, you're going to lay on straw. You won't rule in the kingdom of heaven because you want to rule in your oppressor's kingdom. So now this is your reward. If you don't have mercy on the poor, who will? Who will? Right. In the Israelite School of UPK, that is our mission. It's a tenet in our belief system. We only care about the poor of our people. F you rich niggas, because you rich niggas don't care about us poor niggas. Christ didn't care about the rich of his people. That's why he cursed the rich. That's why the Bible, God curses the rich of our people, because you're too haughty, because you're too high-minded, because you look at your riches and you trust in them instead of trusting in the Most High God. You care more about your riches than you care about helping your people who don't have what you have, like Jay-Z and Beyonce and LeBron James. You don't care about the poor of your people. So guess what? You're going to have your punishment in the kingdom of heaven. You're going to live like white people live. You're going to live with white people. You're going to be the ones feeding the white slaves in the kingdom, wondering when you can get a break. Can I get a break, please? Can I please? You're going to be that. That's going to be you, because you were some step and fetch it here in America. You trusted in your riches and cared not about the poor. Well, for those that if you don't give mercy and show mercy to the poor, you're going to be the person that's going to need mercy from the rich. I hope everybody understands that. With that, I pass the class over to Priest and Officer Cucumber Bar.
Damn right. Clap it up. Officer Malak. Putting it down. The announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Room for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. And after that 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to that brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. And after that 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Pay your tithe. That's a commandment. You can find that in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and 21. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, 8 through 10. That means a tenth in the Hebrew, ma'asharah. That's 10% of every penny or increase that the Most High gives you. You can give that to the Treasury Department or to the teacher. A priest fund or a free will offering for priests is not mandatory. That's whatever amount you would like. And the upcoming holy convocations, November 11th at sundown, it's the memorial blowing of the trumpet, which is the first day of the 7th month according to the Hebrew calendar. Also, we got the the East Coast cookouts, Salakia. That's in Philadelphia. That's September 5th, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely get with your nearest camp leader to get more details. And with that, if any brother wants to join the school, they need to come in here with all black boots, shirts, pants, war scarf. And let's give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Majum, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Majum Shabbat. Majum, Barak. Yahabah Shim Yahushua Barakathah.
Yahabah Shim Yahushua Barakathum.
Yahmatah, that means hands down, Sar. That means a turn. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Majum, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim Barak,
Yahweh Shema Al-Dhan by Hashem Yahushua.
Yahweh Shema Al-Dhan by Hashem Yahushua.
Yahmatah, class dismissed.
Shalom, Makim. Good work, brothers.
Shalom.